Trapper here, and it is time to do it. Doing a beaver job and hog job, and as you can see, it is quite flooded. If you look around behind me, that used to be a road back there. It's not a road anymore, it's a river. So we're going to put the kayak in, we're going to load it up, and we're going to head on out and set up some beaver snares. Stay tuned. Alright, here's the old faithful kayak, the CSS Meat Trapper. And you can see I've got my life jacket. You will not catch me on the water without a life jacket, ever. And don't let me catch you, because no beaver is worth dying for. Now, as far as equipment, I have my snare bag here, and I have my lures down in here, a couple of different lures. And you can see I've got several dozen snares. These are already rigged up with extension cables, earth anchors. You can see on other videos my standard snare setup. But I'll simply keep this in the boat, reach in there and grab one. And then I have my chest pouch, and I believe I have shown this before. But I have more lure. I have my pliers, cable cutters, snippers, flag and tape. This I wear on my body. This stays in the boat. When I get to a set, I'll pull a snare and have that on my chest, walk up, make my set, and keep going. Now, what the plan is, some of this water is pretty shallow, so I'll be walking down what used to be this road here and making sets on the main body of water and on the little bayou that's flooded out there. And I'll be using my paddle as a sounding stick. So as I go, I'll make sure that I'm still on the road as the road starts to curve. When I get to a deep spot, I'll simply hop in the boat and start paddling. At least that's the plan, so we'll see. As far as backups and supplies, I keep one bucket full of wire. I've got 9 gauge, 11 gauge, 14 gauge wire, extra rolls of flag and tape. I have one bucket of big game snares. These are hog snares. This is the big, thick, heavy 1/8 inch cable, southernsnares.com type cable. And then I've got the beaver snares, backup 5-gallon bucket. And of course, you'll see I've got backup pliers only, made in America pliers, cable ties, fence staples, basically all kind of stuff. So hopefully between that and what I'm carrying on the boat, I'll have enough supplies. Alright, what I'm doing is I'm just making my flooded timber set, where I wire the snare off below the water level, put a support wire on it, put me a blocking stick over here, smear some lure on the inside of the blocking stick, and position that snare. Now, what I've got to take into account is that overnight the water level is going to drop. And when I normally want my snare about half in, half out of the water, if that water level is going to go down overnight, I've got to kind of adjust for that. And it's just a guessing game. If the water actually comes up or doesn't go down, that's really not an ideal situation. Because what I want is I want a presentation about like that. See how wide that loop is? So we're just going to see how it goes, do the best we can do. But the key is not to get fancy. I'm just going to work my way down this levee, the entire levee, and I'm going to make set after set after set. You have got to be careful in a flooded situation, because you can see that water right there is not even ankle deep. 3 feet past that snare loop, and it's well over my head. I can't even touch with the 12-foot paddle out there. Basically, that wall, that levee wall, is almost vertical, and all it takes is one step off in there, and you're in trouble. That's why I'm always wearing my life jacket, even when I'm out of the kayak and just walking around in ankle-deep water. Well, it has been a long day, and it's getting cold. It's funny how when you start getting tired, you start running out of fuel, the cold starts to affect you a little more. We'll check our sets in the morning, and we'll see what we have. Hopefully this water won't fluctuate too much. My concern really is if the water drops, then my snare loops are going to be high and dry. so we'll see. It's just a guessing game and nobody knows. But we'll find out in the morning. They're predicting a low of 14 degrees. So it's going to be a bitter cold day to be in a kayak checking beaver sets. But you know what? That's trapping. And the main thing is to just get out and do it. So anyway, I'm going to head back to the lodge. I'm going to get cleaned up, get something to eat. And we'll see how we do in the morning. Stay tuned. Alright fellas, it's the next morning. It rained all night. We got storms rolling in. You can see behind me, you can see it's white capping coming off that lake. Wind is, I don't know, 15, 16 miles an hour. So it's cold, it's wet, it's windy, and I've got to get out on that lake and go pull my snares. So this ought to be interesting. So I'm definitely going to be strapped up and have my life jacket on and all of that. So let's go on. Ain't going to get any better. Let's get in the truck and go. Well, you can see the weather has picked up, and it is it's looking ugly. I hope you can see that back there. That was a road, and I've got snares set all up and down that road. Take a wild guess what's happened. All of my snare loops in weather like this. But I gotta go retrieve them. Today's the last day I'm pulling my sets. So let's go. Gotta do it. Alright, I'm at my first stop. And you can see I'm about to step off in the water. There's my flagging tape. And I have, believe it or not, a beaver down here. Just dropped my glove in the water. Let's see. This is crazy. He's wrapped around everything down here. What a tangled up mess. There he is. Right there. Right there. Whoa, what a... I don't think I have ever snared beaver in whitecaps. This is a new one. And this is not easy work, fellas. I can promise you that. And all right, well, let's catch number one. What can you say? Hey, That's trapping, man. I'm gonna cut him loose. I gotta find a dry place to stash him where he won't wash away, and I'm gonna head on down the line. Alrighty, there's set location number 2 with my flagging tape. Ought to be interesting. Now it's so loud, he has no idea that I'm behind him. That's how loud the wind and the waves are. Game's over. Well, fellas, that's the end of the line. I ended up with 2, and given the conditions out here, I was shocked that I even had that. But hey, that's trapping, you know. And there's just something beautiful and awe-inspiring about nature and nature's fury and power and struggle for life through it all. Anyway, I'm going to head back to camp, and it's time to get cleaned up, get organized, get everything skinned, and pack it all in. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you next time.